All right, everyone, get ready, because today we're taking a deep dive into the world of powertrain engineering.
Yeah, we're going to help you get ready for those tough interviews.
Exactly, and we've got some really great RoleCatcher resources to help us out.
Yeah, we do. Career guides, interview tips, the whole nine yards.
So let's just jump right in. What really is a powertrain engineer?
Um, well, think about it kind of like the architect of how a vehicle moves. So they'd design and develop and test all the systems that make a vehicle go.
Okay.
The engine, transmission, axles, like all of it.
So it's not just like knowing your combustion engines anymore, is it?
No, definitely not. It's way more than that.
Okay.
The field has expanded to include things like software and electronics,
Yeah.
and even integrating multiple energy sources like, your hybrid and electric systems.
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting.
Right.
Speaking of interesting, let's tackle some of those common interview questions.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, the kind that can really make or break your chances.
Sounds good. Let's start with one that you're almost guaranteed to hear. Tell us about your experience with powertrain systems.
Okay. Seems pretty straightforward, but I bet there's like an art to answering it well,
Oh, for sure.
you know?
It's all about how you frame your experience.
Okay.
Even if it's not directly powertrain work,
Yeah.
in a way that highlights your technical skills and your passion
Oh, okay.
for the field.
So how would you suggest some goes about doing that?
Well, you got to start with the foundation, your education. So mention any relevant coursework, projects, any research you've done, especially anything related to engines or transmissions or alternative energy sources.
So even if it's academic, it's still important.
Absolutely. It shows that you understand those fundamentals,
Nice.
but then you want to take it a step further. You want to showcase your practical side too.
Okay.
So have you ever tinkered with a car engine or worked on a robotics project
Oh.
or even just have a deep understanding of how things work mechanically?
Okay, so it's really about demonstrating that engineering mindset.
Exactly. And even things that might not seem directly related to powertrains can be valuable, like, did you work on a team project that required problem solving or innovative thinking?
Right. Right?
Those skills are totally transferable and really sought after in this field.
That's where I think RoleCatcher can really help out, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher's AI-powered CV and resume builder can help you identify those transferable skills from your past experiences.
Oh.
And then tailor your application to really highlight them effectively.
So you're not just like throwing your resume out there and hoping for the best.
Exactly. You're being strategic and showcasing the skills that matter most.
And that's incredible.
And don't forget about the interview practice feature, too.
Oh, right.
You can actually record yourself answering common interview questions
Okay.
and get AI-powered feedback
Wow. So it's like having a personal interview coach
right there in your pocket.
right in my pocket.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so we've tackled that first big question. What's next on our list of interview challenges?
Well, another common one is, how do you stay up to date with advancements in powertrain technology?
Ah, the classic prove you're a lifelong learner question.
Exactly.
Got it.
Powertrain technology is always evolving, and employers want to know that you're committed to staying on top of things.
So how do you suggest someone answers that one effectively?
Well, the key is to showcase that you have genuine interest in the field and you actively are pursuing knowledge.
Okay.
So you can mention specific resources that you follow,
Okay.
like industry publications or professional organizations.
So like SAE International
Yeah, absolutely.
or the American Society of Mechanical Engineers.
Exactly.
Okay, so name dropping those is good.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It shows you're plugged into the industry.
Okay.
But don't just list them.
Okay.
Explain how you engage with them. Do you read their journals, attend their webinars, participate in online forums?
Okay.
The more specific you are, the better.
And RoleCatcher, I bet, has a bunch of resources
Oh, yeah.
that can help people stay informed.
RoleCatcher has access to tons of career guides and industry reports and expert insights
Okay.
that can help you really deepen your knowledge and impress interviewers with how aware you are of the latest trends.
Okay, so we've talked about showcasing your experience and showing that you're committed to learning.
Right.
But I have a feeling this next question we're going to tackle is where things get really tough.
You're right.
Yeah.
Let's dive into a question that often makes candidates sweat a little. Walk us through the process of designing a new powertrain system.
Oh, gosh, where do you even begin to answer that?
Don't panic.
Okay.
They're not expecting you to design a revolutionary powertrain right there on the spot.
Okay.
They want to see how you approach the problem.
Okay.
Your thought process, your ability to articulate your ideas clearly.
Okay. That makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
So what's the first step?
Start with the big picture. What are those initial design considerations? What are the performance objectives?
Okay.
Are we aiming for fuel efficiency, power, or a balance of both?
So set the stage and define the goals.
Exactly. Then you want to consider the constraints.
Okay.
Are there budget limitations or size restrictions or specific emissions regulations you have to adhere to?
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like defining the boundaries of the challenge.
Exactly. And once you've established the context, you can start outlining the design process itself.
Okay.
You might mention concept development, simulation, and analysis,
Okay.
prototyping, testing, and validation.
Do you need to go into detail about each one of those?
No, you don't need to get bogged down in the technical stuff. Just give a clear roadmap of how you'd approach the challenge.
Okay, got it.
And highlight that you understand the key phases involved.
So it's more about like your process for thinking rather than knowing all the technical definitions.
Right, and here's where having some concrete examples can really help.
Oh, okay.
If you've worked on a powertrain-related project, even if it was just for a class, share a specific example.
So bring it to life with a real-world example.
Yes, exactly. It shows you can apply theory to practice, which is what employers are looking for.
Yeah, that's a great tip. And this is another area where RoleCatcher can help, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Their AI-powered tools can analyze specific job descriptions and give tailored advice on how to best showcase your skills.
Exactly. RoleCatcher can help you figure out which parts of the design process to emphasize based on what the job needs.
So it's like having a personalized guide
Yes.
to help you craft the perfect answer.
Exactly. It takes the guesswork out of it and helps you focus on what really matters to potential employers.
Okay, we've covered some serious ground here today, unpacking 3 critical interview questions and how RoleCatcher can really help you prepare.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break and come back for part 2 of our Powertrain Deep Dive, where we'll tackle even more challenging questions and dive even deeper into this awesome world of powertrain engineering. Okay, I'm ready to tackle some more of these powertrain interview questions.
All right, let's shift gears a bit and dive into some tougher, more nuanced questions.
Okay,
Ones that really test your problem-solving skills and industry knowledge.
got it.
These are the ones that can really help you stand out.
Bring them on. I'm curious to see what they throw at us.
Well, one that comes up a lot is, how do you approach troubleshooting a powertrain issue?
Okay, so this is less about like textbook knowledge and more about showing your practical skills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want to see how you think on your feet,
Okay.
how you diagnose problems systematically, and how you come up with solutions.
So what's the best way to answer this? Should I just list a bunch of diagnostic tools?
Not really. The key here is to tell a story.
Yeah.
A concise, memorable anecdote that shows off your problem-solving process.
Got it.
Walk them through a specific challenge you faced, the steps you took, and the solution you came up with.
So it's all about showing your thought process in a real-world situation.
Exactly, and it doesn't have to be some super complex technical issue. Even a simple problem, if you explain it well, can show off how you approach troubleshooting.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, so focus on clarity and conciseness and the key steps you took.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to mention any tools or techniques you used, whether it's software, a multimeter, or even just a wrench.
Right, showing that you're familiar with the tools is important.
Absolutely. And remember, the interviewer might have follow-up questions.
Oh, okay.
They might ask you to elaborate on a step, explain your reasoning, or even challenge your approach.
So you really got to be prepared to think on your feet.
Exactly. And that's where practicing with RoleCatcher's AI-powered interview tool can really come in handy.
Oh, right.
You can run through different scenarios, test different approaches, and get feedback.
So it's like having a sparring partner to help you get ready.
Exactly. Are you ready for another tough one?
Hit me with it.
Ha! How about this? How do you balance performance and efficiency in a powertrain system?
Ah, the eternal struggle. That's something even experienced engineers deal with, right?
Absolutely. It's a complex balancing act, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Right.
But what's cool is how the industry is tackling this with new technologies and design approaches.
So what are some of the key things our listeners should be aware of?
Well, lightweight materials are a huge focus right now.
Okay.
Reducing weight improves both performance and fuel efficiency.
Makes sense. Less weight to carry around means more power, and you can go further on the same amount of fuel.
Exactly. And we're not just talking about shaving off a few pounds.
Okay.
The industry is exploring advanced materials like carbon fiber and aluminum alloys.
So it's not just small improvements. We're talking potential game changers.
Exactly. And then there's engine optimization.
Okay.
Things like variable valve timing, direct injection, and turbocharging.
Okay, hold on. Can you break those down for those of us who aren't mechanical engineers?
Of course, variable valve timing basically lets the engine adjust the timing of the valves that control airflow.
Okay.
So it optimizes performance and efficiency based on engine speed and load. Direct injection delivers fuel directly into the combustion chamber,
Okay.
which improves fuel atomization and combustion efficiency.
Got it.
And turbocharging uses exhaust gases to force more air into the engine.
Okay.
So you get more power without increasing the engine size much.
So it's not just about building bigger engines, it's about making them smarter.
Exactly. And we haven't even talked about hybridization and electrification yet,
Right.
which are becoming super important, especially as emissions regulations get stricter.
Right. Those are whole other areas that powertrain engineers need to know about.
Absolutely. And this question gives you a chance to show your understanding of these technologies
Okay.
and how they're being used to solve real problems.
So how should our listener answer this without getting lost in the details?
Focus on the trade-offs between performance and efficiency.
Okay.
Explain how different technologies impact things like fuel economy, emissions, power output, and the driving experience.
Got it.
You don't need to be an expert in everything. Just show that you're aware of the key trends and that you can think critically about the challenges.
And again, RoleCatcher can be a huge help here, right?
Absolutely. Their tools can analyze job descriptions and highlight the skills that are most relevant.
So it's like having a guide to help you tailor your answers.
Exactly. Okay, we've covered some tough questions.
Yeah.
Are there any other areas our listeners should be ready to discuss?
Ooh, good question.
You might want to brush up on hybrid and electric powertrains,
Okay.
emissions compliance, reliability testing,
Okay.
and even the latest advancements in software and control systems.
But we're giving them some ideas for their own prep.
Right.
They need to think about the specific job and prepare accordingly.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to say if you're still learning in some areas.
Right.
Enthusiasm and a willingness to learn are just as important as experience.
That's a great point. Showing that you're eager to learn is super valuable.
Yeah, and RoleCatcher's interview practice feature can help you focus on areas where you feel less confident
Okay.
and practice until you nail it.
So it helps you identify your strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly.
Okay, we've really gone deep on these powertrain interview questions.
Yeah, we have.
From troubleshooting to balancing performance and efficiency, let's shift gears now and talk about what comes after you ace the interview and land the job.
Sure.
What kind of career path can someone expect in this field? So we've made it through those tough interview questions. What happens next? What does a career in this field actually look like?
Yeah, that's something people don't always think about. You focus so much on getting the job,
Right.
but then what?
Yeah. Paint us a picture. What's a typical career path?
Well, the RoleCatcher Career Guide actually lays out a pretty good roadmap.
Oh, okay.
It outlines different stages, from entry level to junior engineer to powertrain engineer, then senior powertrain engineer, and even beyond.
So you start out assisting, learning the ropes, then as you gain experience, you get more responsibility, maybe even leading teams.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate picture. Early on, it's about mastering the basics and showing what you can do.
Okay, so those are the building blocks.
Right.
What comes after that? How do you move up?
As you progress, communication and collaboration skills become super important.
Okay.
Powertrain engineering is a team effort.
Right.
You're working with other engineers, designers, suppliers, everyone.
So it's not just about being good at the technical stuff.
No, not at all.
You have to be a good communicator and a team player.
Exactly. And as you get more experience, leadership and project management skills become more important too.
Oh, okay.
You might be mentoring junior engineers, managing budgets, even presenting to executives.
So it's not just about being in the lab all the time. You could
Yeah.
be leading teams, managing projects.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting. And are the career paths pretty varied?
Oh, yeah, incredibly diverse. Some engineers specialize in one area, like engine design or transmissions.
Okay.
Others move into management roles, leading teams, driving innovation.
So many possibilities.
Yeah, it's a dynamic field.
It really is. Do you have an example of someone who's had like a really inspiring career in this?
I do, actually. I know someone who started as an intern at a small company,
Okay.
focusing on transmission design.
Correct.
They were super hands-on, always in the lab, coming up with new ideas,
Yeah.
and their work got noticed by a major automaker.
Wow, so they got their big break.
Yeah, they did, and within a few years, they were leading a team developing electric drivetrains.
That's awesome.
And now they're a recognized expert presenting at conferences, even advising startups.
Wow, that's a great story.
It shows that if you work hard and you're passionate,
Right.
you can really make a difference in this field.
So what does all this mean for our listener who's getting ready for that interview?
It means you're entering a field that's challenging, but also super rewarding and full of opportunities.
Yeah.
This deep dive has given you a taste of what to expect, both in the interview and in the career itself.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher is there to help.
Right, every step of the way.
From the CV to the interview to navigating your career.
Exactly, but here's one last thought to leave you with.
Okay.
We've talked about how AI and machine learning are becoming more important in powertrain design.
Right.
How do you think those technologies will change the role of a powertrain engineer in the future?
That's a really good question. Something for us all to think about as this field keeps changing.
Definitely.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of powertrain engineering.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time for another exciting adventure.